Recently, I asked estheticians what they are struggling with the most currently, so I picked 10 of the top questions from you guys, and I will be answering them today, so keep listening. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Brie Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and first-to-market wax pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm going to get straight into this. First question. How do I raise my prices without my clients getting upset or them just ghosting me? I actually do have a podcast episode on this, but let me just kind of break it down. First of all, please know that you will lose some clients. So let me answer the question first of when's the best time to raise your prices. It's going to be, first off, you just way underpriced yourself to begin with, like lesson learned. All right, it's time for a price increase. But if you're priced like pretty fair, but you feel like you've really been working hard, you've perfected your technique, you've been in it a little while, and you have a decent clientele now, and you're actually feeling a little bit spread too thin, and you have a wait list, this is a really good way to kind of wing out some people as well. So just go into it knowing that you will lose some people. We always build this up to be the biggest fear ever, that our whole business is going to collapse. You're going to lose every single client. I promise you, if you raise your prices correctly, that will not happen. So how do we raise our prices correctly? Really, about a 10% increase is going to be ideal. It's a decent amount. You're going to feel it in your revenue, but the clients directly won't feel it super drastically. For example, if you're charging $50 for a Brazilian, then a 10% increase would be, now you'd be charging $55. So not a huge increase on the client, but your bottom line for your business is going to make a big difference, especially when you compound that over, your entire Brazilian clientele. When you raise your prices, you're going to want to, first of all, give enough notice. I'm a big fan of a 30-day notice. I think that's super fair and allowing people to really plan out. You can even do 45 days if most of your clientele, if you are providing waxing services, because most people are on like a 4 to 6 week schedule. So then that allows enough time for them to at least get one more service in before the price increase. Or if you want to do the 30-day and just make sure anyone that's currently booked is at the that service is at that current price. And then, so notice is number one. So how do you give notice? Sending out emails to everyone on your client list, sending out text blasts, verbally telling them at their appointment, having a sign at the front reception desk of your studio or at your checkout counter, posting it on your social media. You want to make sure that people know about this. You guys, they don't see everything. When we promote anything, I'm doing multiple posts, I'm doing multiple emails, multiple text blasts, like all of it. We even personally will email and reach out instead of just using our automation. And sometimes people still don't see these announcements. So it's really important that you really spread this wide. And then the biggest thing, this is the key takeaway here, is you want to give them a way to buy in at the current pricing just for a few services. So I love doing like a 3-pack. That's my favorite thing to offer when doing a price increase is purchase your next 3 at this price. They pay in full. So it's a package deal. So now they have that available to use. And now the next 3 months at least, they're getting that same pricing before the price increase kind of steps in for them. So if you were charging that $50 Brazilian and then you were going to be increasing to $55, you would have a 3-pack for $150. They pay up front. If you use a platform like Gloss Genius, then you have Affirm, Klarna available, so they can even make payments on that package. So it just makes it a no-brainer. And like, I haven't had many problems when I coach estheticians to do it in that way. I actually taught that to my lash artist, and then she raised prices, and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Because now my prices went up. But but it was fine because it's worth it. Quick interruption to the show. If you're a waxer and you're tired of scrambling when you run low on wax and you're tired of paying full price, this is your sign to get on a subscription. With Rebel Wax subscriptions, you can save 10 to 15% and unlock free shipping on select tiers, plus your wax gets delivered automatically. No more last minute panicking, no more expensive rush shipping, and definitely no more emergency trips to SalonCentric and Cosmoprof paying high prices for a low quality wax. You choose your formula, choose your quantity, and decide how often you want your wax delivered, every 30, 60, 90, or 120 days. And if you need to make any changes, you can easily pause, skip, or cancel at any time. This is for estheticians and waxers who want a smarter, more profitable way to keep their studios stocked. To get started, visit lashandwaxoc.com, choose your bag size, your formula, the quantity that you would like, and then make sure to click subscribe and save. Then you will see 30, 60, 90, and 120-day delivery options. Choose which one is best for you, then click add to cart. Once you do this, your discount applies immediately and your wax will ship right on time. Stop wasting time, stop wasting money. Go to lashandwaxoc.com and lock in your subscription today. Now back to the show. My wax is breaking every single time. What am I doing wrong, and why won't anyone just tell me straight? Well, I will tell you straight, and I talk about this a lot. There's a couple different reasons. So let's get the first out of the way is maybe you are using a low quality wax. There are certain wax brands out there that a lot of us have used in school that just aren't up to par with what it needs to be today. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm gonna call out any names, but you guys probably know what brands I'm talking about. So sometimes it can be a matter of low quality. At the same time, though, a great waxer can make any wax work. I'm convinced I could probably wax with duct tape at this point. I'm being very dramatic, but you can make any wax work. You need to know the adjustments that need to be made. Number one can be very dry, dehydrated skin. That can cause the strip to set very, very quickly and then turn to like plastic. So when you go to remove, it breaks on you. Second is very cold skin. Same thing. It like flash sets the strip. So then it will break on you. So having your climate good and controlled in your treatment room, if people are really cold, like turn up the heater, especially during the wintertime. But also in those instances, first of all, you can opt, because most time this is going to be happening on leg waxing. That's the most common area for us to experience this is on legs. Not exfoliating enough, dehydrated, not moisturizing, so dehydrated, cold skin, especially during the winter. You can use soft wax maybe have some soft wax on hand. Cold can pose an issue for soft wax as well, but when you go to remove, you like do that so you're creating friction and warming it up a bit. That can be an option, or thicken up your strips. So if you're using hard wax, you're going to have to thicken up your strips, but it's really those two things are the most, or three things, either low quality wax. Most of us, you guys are probably using a good quality wax. If you're using Rebel, then you know you're using good quality wax. Cold skin or dehydrated skin. Also a cream-based wax may be good to have on hand for those moments as well when you're really struggling, because it's naturally a little bit of a thicker strip and it just helps combat some of those like temperature issues or dehydration. But you have to move quicker. Instead of laying multiple strips at a time, you may have to just lay and remove, and that's it. And you have to move a little bit quicker because you need to be removing that strip when it's still tacky. I'm posting on Instagram every day and literally nobody is booking, and I don't feel like there is a point. I get it. So actually, good question, because I just launched yesterday. By the time you guys are seeing this, it's been a couple weeks, but my Booked Out with Instagram digital course. So I go through everything on here, but what you have to nail down is, first of all, who it is that you're speaking to. So if you don't already know who your ideal client is, that's really important to nail down. And then we need to be speaking to their pain points and the outcomes that they are looking to achieve. So those are the two things. So maybe we're not posting the right type of content. That could be number one. Maybe we're not like kind of strategizing correctly on making sure you're using locational tags or focusing on your hooks on your screen, or even just putting your city name as text on your reel. There's so many different things. So I could go really deep into this. Don't have time on this episode, but I did put it into that course. So it's literally 7 modules, I think 24 videos. It's just under 4 hours. I show you guys everything. Go check that out. I'll link it in the description below. Do I actually need more certifications? Why is that a hard word for me? To charge what I'm worth, or is that just something people say to keep us small? Okay, so certifications are cool, I guess, but I feel like people get too wrapped up in like collecting certifications, but it's really ultimately it's you putting in the sets and reps and actually getting good at technique. Like, I don't care what a piece of paper says. It's how confident do you feel in providing these services? Like, it doesn't really matter if a certificate is just like, we have a certificate for our online course because people begged for them. But at the end of the day, it's honestly a piece of paper that I threw together on Canva, made it look pretty to say, hey, you completed this online course. Does that mean that you necessarily are now just a waxing expert? No, because you gained the information from the course. It was great information, but now you still ultimately have to go put the sets and reps in. Clients aren't going to look at that certificate hanging on the wall and be like, oh, yep, she knows what she's doing. It's their experience with you in the service itself. So don't worry about collecting certificates. Worry about putting in the time and the reps of actually getting good and mastering the service. I have 0 certifications. I'm trying to think. I literally have never, I just got it through sets and reps at European Wax Center. That's how I mastered waxing. So I literally have never gotten microblading course that I took, but that was a bunch of BS, and I talked about in our last podcast episode, so go check that out. Okay, moving on. How do I go from having slow weeks and random bookings to being fully booked and having a wait list? First of all, this is compounding over time. So this isn't going to happen overnight. So just like with skincare, it's like you're not going to cure acne overnight, right? One time washing your face, then all of a sudden you wake up in the morning with glass skin. No, it's coming up with the regimen, doing it every single day, usually twice a day, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Then when you look at those comparisons, it's drastic, right? Same with building your clientele, same with building your business. One post isn't going to do it. One email newsletter isn't going to do it. One reach out like locally to someone to collab isn't going to do it. It's doing these things consistently over time. So I fully broke this down in my Building Your Clientele series. We have either you can go through the full 10 episodes, you can check that out, or I also did a recap in one episode where I go through all 10 steps on how to build your clientele. But I just want you to be prepared to know you're not going to go and listen to that and then be fully booked with waitlist overnight. It's going to take time. It's compounding. One client here, 2 clients there, maybe nothing. Then another client comes in and it compounds over time and you build your book. So give yourself grace and time, but also be willing to put in the effort. Do the things that I teach in the Building Your Clientele course. Do the things consistently, even when you're not seeing results right away. That's the key, okay? So you have to be consistent. So I'm working somewhere that I hate, but I'm scared to go out on my own. Totally get it. First of all, you need to ask yourself, have you mastered your technique? That's number one question. Have you mastered your technique? Do you feel really confident in providing the service? If yes, okay, awesome. Now it's time to start studying up on business. My podcast is an excellent place to start. Go watch that Building Your Clientele series. Go watch all my podcasts about finances or about how to market yourself or how to organize your business. Go watch those things. Go watch other people in the industry that share that type of information as well, and make this your whole world. No more listening to the radio in the car. You're listening to podcasts that are going to be directly helping you reach your ultimate goal of preparing yourself to go solo. So be conscious about what information it is you're taking in. You have no time to waste on things that aren't going to help prepare you to go solo. So start there, learning business. There's 3 aspects: finance, marketing and advertising, and operations. Operations includes how do you run things, like what booking site are you going to use, email text confirmation automations, like all of those things, inventory tracking, like everything you need on the back end besides actually providing the service that keeps your business in running. And then start saving some money. So you guys, how bad do you want it? I want you to ask yourself that. How miserable are you in order to delay gratification and be willing to save some money on the side? Like, eat freaking ramen noodles for the next year. Like, I'm being so serious. I'm not being dramatic here at all. We literally sold most of our belongings and moved into a fifth wheel trailer with 2 kids and a third on the way, and did that for 3 years. It was fun at first, and then I felt freaking homeless. Like, I hated it, but it served the ultimate goal that we were working towards. Did that for 3 years, you guys. It was really tough. Literally, I'm not joking. Like, we lived off freaking ramen for quite some time there. It's asking yourself how bad you really want it, truly. And then save up at minimum, I recommend 3 months. 3 months worth of being able to pay your lease and like the overhead associated with your business. Like, if you were not to have not one client come in for those 3 months, like, you would still be able to pay your bills. And you may want to leak into this slowly. Maybe you have a part-time job on the side and you kind of make that transition. I wouldn't highly recommend just straight walking out, quitting, especially if you have depends on your circumstances. Because I've had coaching clients who were still living with their parents and had a cushion and a backing. It's like, I would ask them, hey, if you just fully like quit and went solo, like, are you going to go hungry or homeless? And their answer is no, like, they have the support of their family, then awesome. Let's just let's do it. Like, you have what it takes. It's going to be tough, but let's do it. And they did. And then there's some who come to me that were in more of my situation. Like, I have young kids, like, I have bills to pay, like, I have responsibilities to take care of beyond just myself. It's not the smartest move then to just quit and jump straight into solo. That's kind of what I did because I got fired and then just went all in. But we had supplemental income because my husband had a moving company that I helped with as well. So just be smart when it comes to the finance portion of it, okay? How do I deal with clients who try to ask for discounts? And I don't want to be mean or also don't want to feel like a pushover. Okay, like, prices are non-negotiable. I don't know. This is so weird to me. I would never go to a service provider, try to ask for, like, it's just weird. It's very weird to me. Like, literally, this isn't like the swap meet or Canal Street where I got my fake rollie in New York it's like, yeah, you're going to haggle and you're going to try to get a little bit of a discount, right? It's just so weird to me. So how do you deal with this? I loved having just scripts to answer people. So when they reach out, I just say, oh, I'm so sorry. My prices are non-negotiable. You can see my service menu and the pricing online. I do have ways for you to save through packages or memberships or whatever it is you have to offer. But yes, my prices are my prices, and I'm happy to give a referral if you feel like we're not a great fit. That's what I do. That's my kind of little script, and then I don't even get into no. Moving on, don't even get into that whole argument with them. They're not the right one for you if they continue past that. Everyone says to niche down, but I don't even know what that means, especially for me as a waxer. Okay. Well, niching down, like, literally being a waxer is pretty niche because let's break this down. Like, we have the beauty industry as a whole, right? And then there's so many different elements to that. Hairstylists, cosmetologists, like nail techs, lash artists, makeup artists, waxers. So like you're already niche. And then beyond that could be maybe you specialize in brows specifically, or you specialize in Brazilian specifically. So it's really just knowing what you how do you pick what your niche is? You have to really love and be good at the service. So for me, Brazilians, like, I do full body and I'm great at full body, but like, Brazilians are my thing. So when we do any sort of promotion on our studio page, which I'm no longer in the treatment room, but I do have a waxing studio with a commission waxer in there, we're focusing on talking about Brazilians. So that's like my niching down, but ultimately, people will still book other waxing services. So get really clear on what is it that you truly enjoy to do and you are really good at. That's what I would focus on. But really, waxing is pretty niche in itself, and then you can niche it down even further than that. And don't feel like you have to know that right away, because right when you get out of school, the best thing to do is like dabble in a bunch of different services. That's why I say go work somewhere. Like, go work at a lash place, go work at do makeup. Like, if you have whatever you have an interest in, go work for a waxing studio, because you'll quickly learn whether, yes, this is actually what I love and would want to continue to do, or this isn't for me. For example, for me, I thought I was going to be super into facials. I liked them. I was good at them, but I wasn't like super stoked on it every day. Waxing, I just like the quick pace, and I felt like there was more like goals to hit because I could get faster and faster and get better and better and like kind of create some of my own techniques and stuff too. So I really liked waxing, but when I first went to aesthetic school, I totally thought I was going to be just doing like skincare, doing facials. So play around and dabble first. If you're within your first 3 years, like you're kind of in discovery mode, you guys, like you're testing the waters a little bit to really, and then you'll just know when it's your thing, and then you can niche down in that way. Okay. So don't feel like you have to be all niched. And also, okay, that's on the service side. On the personal branding side, because I'm really big into personal branding. If you guys have any questions about that, let me know, because I feel like people get confused on what that means. So I can totally do a podcast episode on that, but you gotta let me know if you want to actually hear that. But on the personal branding side, you are the niche. Like whatever it is you're into, it doesn't have to be or, things can be and. Like I grew up a major tomboy, but I also love pink. Like both can happen at the same time. I can be super into what people would call, tomboy activities like dirt bike riding or jujitsu or archery, like whatever. But then like my brand is all pink and girly and I love it. So you can have and. So I am the niche because it's kind of unique to me, and you have things that are unique to you as well. You can have multiple different aspects of your life. That's okay. We don't have to try to fit in this box of, but I have to niche down where I'm like this specific type of person. It's like, no, you are the niche because you are you and there's not another you out there. So just like share about yourself. Don't have a persona online that you can't uphold in real life, okay? That's the worst. I don't know how people have time to do that, but I hope that frees you a little bit. Just be you. And I know this sounds so cliche, and it is, but it's true. Just be you, and you're going to attract your right people. Can you actually make real money as a waxer? Yes, you can. It's going to take a while to get there. Like I was able to build a 6-figure clientele being solo and keep my overhead really low. And it was fantastic. And sometimes I really miss that era. It was great. So yes, absolutely. You can make whatever income that you want. Is it going to take a lot of work? Yes. But there's so many different paths that we can take. But if we're talking specifically being a solo esthetician, building your own clientele, we're not talking product line, we're not talking hiring anybody, like you with your solo practice, yes, you can make good money. It's about being smart and organizing your finances correctly. I feel like sometimes we get in over our head, like with some of the leases that we do or spending our money on things that are just silly and don't necessarily like help the business grow. Things like, I don't know, signage that's like, spending like a couple grand when you could have gotten something that would work just fine for like a few $100, but you had to have the best material and lighted and whatever. Just I'm trying to think of, or like designing your room and then redesigning it every 6 months or a year and having a rebrand. Everyone's always talking about rebranding all the time. It's like those are the things that don't really help build or sustain your business. So if we get crazy with haphazardly spending our money, then that can be really difficult. But as a solo esthetician, building your own clientele, you 100% can be bringing in 6 figures, no problem. Yeah, you can. I'm thinking some of my coaching clients, like they're hitting $11,000 months. I think when we did it, maybe 3,000 to 4,000 in expenses. So let's call it 4. So, she's keeping 6 to 7 grand to herself. That's huge. That'd be pretty difficult to go get. Like if you went and got a 9 to 5, maybe you could be making that. Depends what the position and the job is. But no, you absolutely can. And then as you grow, there's so many different directions you can go. Maybe you start providing education to other waxers. Once you build for yourself and you can actually be speaking from experience, not just regurgitating what we hear online. Once you've built and done the thing, you can move into that. Maybe you launch your own product line. Brand partnerships to promote brands and get affiliate kickbacks. Like there's so many directions. So very long-winded way to say, yes, you can. I did. Yeah. We lived such a better life, like going from European waxing. I just remember being so pumped, like when my check passed $1,000, I was like, oh my God, we're rich. We are rich. And then I had to pay like rent for living in a trailer. So space rent, and it was all gone. Yes. the trailer rent was, it's so stupid. Orange County is so expensive. I don't know how we survived, but I just remember being so stoked on that. And then to go solo or look at the numbers I was bringing in for European Wax Center and then be like, wait, if I did this for myself, like this would be wild. And we did it. Like it's very, very cool. So I did it. You can do it. Also, please do not compare though your chapter 1 or 2 to my 15. I've been in this for a long time. We haven't been living this lifestyle or this way for a long time. This has been a slow build, and it's putting in the sets and reps and just compounding over time. That's all it takes and the unwillingness to quit. So I'm going to end us there. If you guys have any other questions that you would like answered in a future episode, kind of a Q&A style like this, let me know in the comments below. Hey, I really appreciate those of you who are watching this on YouTube. We've gotten so much more engagement in the comment section. I love it. Spotify, you guys can leave comments too, and I check them. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, well, yeah, literally comments actually. If you have any comments, let me know. If you have any special requests on like a topic you want me to cover, let me know. Okay, if you want to go see the recap on building your clientele series, click here. And for pricing, go ahead and click here. If you're listening on Spotify, you'll head to episode 57 for the recap and 55 for pricing. I'll see you guys over there.